Hey, welcome back to the Bengal Tigers. So we took over much of the universe, and then our nation sort of collapsed due to a simple error of judgment on my part. I've fought my way back to not being totally dead. I beat Ming and the Timurids in a coalition war at the same time as beating all of the other nations of India and just Asia in general, except for like Manchu and Korea. um, and I've got probably $3,897 worth of loans. So at some point in the near future, I'm going to go bankrupt, and then the game is going to be very sad from that point on. But if I can just scrape by and manage to avoid bankruptcy, it should only be 10 or 15 years until I can pay off all my loans. And then I can go back to building up my nation from there. I made the mistake of trying to annex Jharkhand while being kind of weak. I should have just waited until I'd paid off my loans before trying to annex Jharkhand. The problem is, what I didn't realize is that when you annex somebody, a vassal, there's no disincentive for declaring an independence war because it stops the annexation. Like, if he's going to become part of your nation, then why would he not go to war with you? It just makes perfect sense. I like it. From a role-playing perspective, there's no reason for him not to declare war of independence on me. So, that's what he did, man. He's like, I'll kill your family. And then he went to where my family lives and he killed them. And now my family is dead. And it's because he killed them that they are dead. And that makes me very sad. On the weird kind of plus side, I'm actually going to be more profitable as a nation while fighting this war than while at peace. Because once I siege up all of my vassals' territory, I'll get 100% of the trade power there instead of, 5% or whatever vassals give you. That's kind of cute and fuzzy. I'm running pretty low on manpower. Trying to keep my revolt risk low, as always. I've emphasized so many times throughout the game how important it is to keep my revolt risk low, and then the one thing that almost kills me is letting my revolt risk get too high, so I agree with me. I should do what I say. So we just took a crap ton of attrition marching across those lands, and as a result, our military leader has died. Our heir is 2-2, and that's good enough, so we're going to go let him fight. First things first, we got to de-siege the capital. Once that's done, we're going to kill Jharkhand's army, and then we'll come over here and wipe Vijayanagar's and Orissa's armies. It's funny that Vijayanagar and Orissa have more of an army than Jharkhand, even though Jharkhand is giant, and those guys are like one province combined. It's because of the terrain in this area. Like, Jharkhand is all jungle and grassland. Well, grasslands are okay, but jungle, like, you don't want to be a jungle. It's a jungle out there. Does not mean that it's like really great for growing food out there and supporting armies. Wow, I haven't thought about quests in a long time, but apparently I had a quest for like all freaking game to take some province that I didn't think about. Alright, reclaim some territory. I like that. We'll reclaim some territory. Are there any policies I can take that would give me tons of money? Prestige and idea cost. Holy crap. I mean, I'm not currently working on any idea groups, but it's interesting that you can pay 1 monarch power per month in order to get 10% discount on an idea that costs 400 monarch power. So if you only had to run it for 40 months, then it would break even. It'd be free. And then at the same time, you'd get a bunch of prestige. That's interesting. Alright, defend the capital Jharkhand. Apparently I'm supposed to siege his capital, not just counter-siege my own capital. So where's Jharkhand? There it is. Let's go siege that. And this is what I'm worried about, is that, you see, Ava declared independence, and then they collapsed to rebels, so I lose all of their lands, even if I beat them and they stay my vassal, it doesn't matter, because they don't have any land now. So I lose, even if I win the war. Ah, so frustrating. And now the same thing's happening to Jharkhand. Like, they declared war on me, and I'm obviously going to win, but while I win, they're going to die. Because they're trying to westernize. Who tries to westernize at 1637 while fighting a war that you're obviously going to lose? Like, that's not a good plan. They should have consulted me first. This is why they need an overlord. They're better off. They're better off, man. I'm going to let the reactionary rebels win, seriously. Stop westernization? Yeah, I'm okay with that. Stop westernization. Why were you westernizing in the first place? Oh boy. I'm really happy with how the Liberty Desire mechanic has worked out. Everyone declaring independence. All that cool stuff. I like how all this works. I mean, it's ruined my game, but only in the sense that I'm going to lose now. I mean, in the sense that you play games to have fun, and this was really fun, it has made my game better. I'm having more fun collapsing than I had stomping everyone into the ground and becoming huge. I mean, there's multiple types of fun. Like, think about World of Warcraft or another MMORPG or whatever, right? You play for years, for thousands of hours, and every time you log in to play, you go and do something with the knowledge that whatever you do today is going to help you tomorrow and for thousands of hours in the future, right? So every little thing, like, oh, I went out and got 100 experience today, and it was boring, right? I was grinding, I was just killing easy mobs, doing something that was easy, and the only reason it was fun to me was because I knew that the experience I gained today is going to mean that tomorrow, when I try to do something else, I will succeed, because I made myself better. It's like you're building on something. So, the same thing is true in EU4, right? As I was growing my nation, I felt like, each little gain that I'm making is going to make me bigger tomorrow when I fight someone big, or when I, collapse, or when something happens and I need to be strong, I'll be strong because I've done this thing to make me stronger. But individually, it was all boring, like, let's fight a war against a one-province miner that has no army. Like, that's not really fun in and of itself. What's fun about that is the idea that you're making yourself stronger for the future when you need to be strong. Uh-oh, I took out 2 more loans. It's not good. Getting closer to bankruptcy. Bankruptcy is good for you. Bankruptcy makes hair grow on your chest. I now have lots of vassals. Awesome. We are in control, we are in control, we are in control, we are in control. Okay, so as all of my vassals declared independence, they got war declared on them by all of their neighbors. So when I win the war to remain the overlord of all the people, I end up at war with all the other people. And that's fine. I'm okay with being at war with all the other people. My primary concern is all these rebels and how all the territory that I fought to consolidate is collapsing into a million different pieces. And this guy knows that sharing really is caring. It's not just a glib saying because it rhymes. This is like, and all this is true because it rhymes. Right, so now that there is no westernization going on in Jharkhand, I can kill the reactionaries. It looks like the annexation of Jharkhand has indeed been stopped, though. It's only going to take 9 years to westernize, or to annex them. Hopefully I can do it before the truce timer runs out, right? If I start over. Just kind of barrel my way into people. Pew, you're dead. Pew, you're dead. Pew, you're dead. That's what happens when you have 13 cannons in a part of the world that is all desert and mountains. No one else has 13 cannons, thanks. Ming is like, we own all of Asia, and we proudly present our 13 cannons to fight against you. It's a force that no one could ever reckon with. And we're like, yeah, we own some dirt in a hill And we also have 13 cannons. Because we're willing to take out a crap ton of loans. So Marathas and Madurai, who I don't even know who they are, but combined, apparently they can field 40,000 troops. This is really interesting. And it looks like they're militarily quite advanced. 17 and 19. Man, they're even with me in military tech, and that's not good. Wonder how they managed that. These guys like didn't exist. That's actually probably the answer. Is they broke off from me, so they inherited my military tech. Yeah. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to stop Jarkan from collapsing in on itself while also winning the war. I'm not even going to be able to win the war without going bankrupt, I don't think. I got 4 wars going on. Britain just declared that they're having a civil war, which I don't mind too much. Khmer is my rival still. Ming, Khmer, and the Timurids. So it's not super surprising that they would declare on Ava as soon as she broke free from me. The truce timer with Ming will be up in a sec, and then we'll be fighting Ming too. Awesome! So Ava kept her cores everywhere, so I can fight Reconquista wars to refeed all of the land that broke off from Ava back to Ava. So that's good. There's a lot of wars I can fight to expand my empire back to its former glory. But first I need to pay off all my loans and stabilize, and I'm just getting more and more loans, not less and less. Actually, it's going down, but it's not going down fast enough. Mercantilism is fine. Delhi has joined the coalition against us. It looks like currently the coalition, other than Delhi, everyone in the coalition is already fighting against me, man. Whew, spooky stuff, spooky stuff. Ooh. Gulbarga. There's a war of the Bahmani reconquest of Gulbarga, which is Bamanis against me. Bamanis, I think, is a single province minor, so he's not winning that war. Arakan, and Lanna, and Khmer, and Senwi is the primary threat over there. The person who's closest to winning is Madurai and Cochin. Madurai and Cochin. These guys, because they actually won a battle. No one else has won a battle. And the final war is Assam, which apparently is winning the war of the reconquest of Sadia, even though I just totally killed them. Where's Sadia? I don't get it. Oh, I attacked them in an effort to take Sadia from them, which is stupid because I was in the middle of declaring my independence, and I was bankrupt, and I had rebels everywhere, and my nation was falling apart. So I decided to attack Assam. Like, why would you do that? That's not a good plan. You are not Mr. the Smart Pants. Alright, well, we can end that war. Easy peasy. We got another. Alright. Whew. So, we're probably the only Sunnis in the area. So if we took religious, we could get a CB against everyone without having to fabricate claims. And that's always fun. Other than the CB, though, it wouldn't give us anything but -1 revolt risk and cheaper culture conversion. So is there anything else that gives us CB? I think Diplo might. Well, Diplo makes it cheaper to take land without a CB, but that's not exactly the same as giving me one. There used to be a CB against all government types around you that are not the same government type as you have. Unjustified demands -50%. That's even better than the Diplo one. Provincial war score -20% and lowered impact of stability. You'd think there'd be a military one that gave you a better CB, but it looks like the only way to get a good CB is religious. So it'll be a picture of a scroll with an X on it, right? So any other scroll X's? I know that exploration gives you a permanent cast spell against primitives, and expansion gives you permanent cast a spell against less advanced non-pagan nations in Asia and Africa. They have to be less advanced, though, and since I'm Indian, that just means any Chinese people, right? So nothing's going to give me a CB except for religious. I feel like taking religious. I'm taking religious. -1 revolt risk for everyone, and CB against all of our neighbors. And cheaper culture conversions, you remember I talked about if you convert someone's culture, then when they break free of you, you keep your core. And also easier time converting provinces religiously, which is good because you can't culture convert until you religiously convert. We don't need... Oh, Melissa's finally home. It's 3 in the morning. Stop staying out until 3 in the morning, bro. Alright, so we get peace with Bamanas. Probably should have taken full annexation, those punks. War exhaustion. We're so exhausted of war. We like being the aggressor. We're exhausted of this non-aggressive war stuff. Let's see. Okay, 18 minutes, not long enough. I was gonna go see if I could tease Melissa about being out until 3 in the morning, but I guess I can't. It's against the rules. Alright, when this siege is up, I'm gonna take a full annexation of Assam and give all their land to Saya, or Ava. Then we'll work on Madurai. Those Madurai people, they need our help to be shown the light of how not to attack me. I'm gonna be out of manpower really shortly, though. Jharkhand has successfully westernized. Wow. Wow. Jharkhand. Oh, it's because they broke into a bunch of pieces, and it's easy to westernize when you're made out of nothing. Well, that's awesome. Good work, Jharkhand. We always wanted you to westernize by being broken into a bunch of tiny pieces. Looks like we need to counter-siege that province before we can take peace. Sorry, I don't want peace from anyone right now. We're breaking into a bunch of tiny pieces, but then we should be able to glue everything back together in the end once we have paid off our loans, which probably won't ever happen. Some would like to give cores to Ava and give us some money. That's fine. Give us our cores back and give me some money. Now, these guys need to give cores and money too. Woohoo! We repaid a loan so that we could take out a new loan. I think repaying a loan and then taking out a new loan is exactly the same as just extending the loan, so it's fine. That's fine. War exhaustion, ginormous. Poor vassals. Poor vassals. None of them have any army. And this Senwi, the people that I'm sieging up, are over there sieging me. What we need is like a 5 siege general and just walk around insta-sieging everything. That'd be fun. Alright, you give that to Ava. Let's rebuild our Ava. Oops. We told them to go here so that we could prepare to see if it's worth attacking. And instead, they just attacked. They're like, "Arr, we can do it." Alright. We're down to 10 cannons and 7 infantry. Against 70, 80, 90, 100,000 troops. And 100,000 rebels. And it might be time to bail on some of these wars. Oh, jeez. Whew. Alright, let's keep our stability up high enough so that we try to get fewer revolts. And we need to recruit up to at least 30,000 troops to be able to kill these rebels with any sort of efficiency. And to do that, we would need to take more loans. I feel like we're done. I think we're dead. So we still own lots of territory, and we still have cores on lots more territory. With a couple of easy wars, we could rebuild our nation, but the problem is we keep splitting into smaller and smaller pieces. Maybe when it's not 3 a.m. I'll have a better perspective on whether it's worth continuing this. Because, like I said, it's easy to come back from rebels splitting up because you keep all your cores. So all I have to do is feed the cores back to Jharkhand, Orissa, and in Ava, and I'll own all the territory that I used to own. And then I can take back Nepal and Tibet and Delhi. Altogether, it'd probably take about 40 years to get back to where I was. But then it would be 1684, and I would still have 130 years. But that 130 years, would that be long enough to get all of India under my control, form Hindustan, and then take Japan way the hell up here, some of China, and then Great Britain, and some of Africa, and some of this land over here? I don't think so. I mean, if the goal was just to survive and do pretty well, I could easily accomplish that, but we're talking about owning a heck of a lot of land very far apart from each other. I don't think I can do it. We'll see. If there is a next time, then we'll talk about it next time.